Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Trove PS4 Let's Play. While I was getting prepared for this video, it turns out people decided to put me in a little box. So I guess we're going to be in a little box for a little bit. And also, you might be wondering, today is Friday. Why is there a PS4 Let's Play on a Friday when it's supposed to be on Tuesdays? Well, I am, you curious viewer, I am going to actually be moving the PS4 Let's Play from Tuesdays to Fridays because I'm already doing two videos on Tuesdays, which is the mod spotlights and the patch notes whenever the patch notes come out every other week. So the other day that I was thinking is Fridays, and the reason why I want to move them to Fridays is one, because it kind of evens out the Let's Plays. I do PC Let's Play on Monday, and I was just doing the PS4 the next day, so then it left you kind of with like a week with nothing in terms of Let's Plays. So if I move it to Friday, it's Monday and Friday. It's like the most even you can get throughout the week, so it kind of spreads them out far evenly as possible. Also, it's the same idea of why I do two videos on Tuesdays already with the mod spotlights and the patch notes. The mod spotlights are there just in case there is no patch notes. If there is patch notes, it's just a double upload day. But just in case there's no patch notes, there's at least one video, if not the two videos, you know? Because I can't control if they release a patch or not. They haven't released a patch in a very long time on PC, actually. Same thing with on Fridays is my kind of idea of when I want to switch this Let's Play to Friday. Is because just in case there's no news, you know, in the past month, they've been kind of shaky on news. Some weeks there's Friday news, some weeks there's not. Some weeks they don't live stream, some weeks they do. So this is to prevent there being no videos on a Friday. So either they consistently upload video or they do live streams on Fridays, and I can have both news and the PS4 Let's Play, so it's a double upload. Or if there's no news, there's still at least this upload, which is the PS4 Let's Play. So it kind of safeguards the channel to make sure there's videos every single day, and it also, again, spreads out the Let's Plays so it's as even as possible for you guys, so it's as enjoyable as possible. But today, for the actual Let's Play, now that I got that out of the way, is Cubits. Everything about Cubits. I said this in the last video, today is going to be all about the Cubits. So the way I'm going to explain Cubits today is basically what you want to be spending your Cubits on, from the best to the worst. The first thing you want to buy, all the way down to the last thing you want to buy. And also a very big waste. I want to make sure that I talk about a very big waste of Cubits to make sure I get it out of the way, and I'm going to explain that first, by the way. So what I'm going to talk about isn't the first thing you want to buy, it's actually something you don't want to buy. And that is Death-Defying Vial. This is a very big misconception in Trove. It's been like that since U6, believe it or not, back in beta, when U6 was the max and Lunar Lancer came out. This was a very big vial in the game, and I was always telling people, why do you use this vial? It has no data to back it up that makes it useful in any shape or form, because it has one of the worst procs in the game. It automatically uses it when you're low on health, not when you die, but when you're low on health, and it has no added benefit besides that. Plus, it has a very low flask capacity. Now, I myself, since Metal Power, have fallen a little lazy when it came to the guides, I admit it, and I did say that you can use this when you're farming or doing Ultra Shadow Towers in all of my guides, and it still kind of holds true. If you're doing Ultra modes mainly, like that's the main bulk of your gameplay, then Death-Defying might actually be quite enticing for you, because it prevents you from being overwhelmed by mobs when you're getting to the boss. You know, you get the 6 minion cursed skulls and stuff like that. Every 2 waves it's 6 minions, and then it's the 2 bosses and stuff like that. If you get hit twice in a row, you're dead. But in this game, you're able to never get one shot. If you have full HP, you can never be one shot in the entire game. Besides if you have Death-Defying, which is why Death-Defying is so bad. But you can never be one shot in this game. It's just impossible. You get set to 1 HP, and then you have like a split second to heal yourself back up. In a Shadow Tower, that's not really the case, because if you get hit by one mob and you get brought to 1 HP, another mob could just come in and smack you in the back of the head, and then you're dead. So, in Shadow Towers, I can see the use of it. But when it comes to farming, this is one of the worst vials in the entire game, if not the worst vial in the entire game. There might be worse, you know, some basic ones that are a little worse, maybe just the standard flask. But it's 20,000 cubits, and it charges like no tomorrow. For the same price, actually cheaper, for a cheaper price of Death-Defying, you can get a flask that has nearly twice the amount of charges and is cheaper, and also you can pick up Unyielding Emblem. And what Unyielding Emblem does is it makes you invulnerable for 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. I don't remember exactly, but you're invulnerable. You take 0 damage. And what you can do is you can combine these two, you know, Elysian Bandolier or any other flask in the entire game, and unyielding, and you pop it right before you get to the boss or right before you get to the cursed skull, and then you're invulnerable for pretty much the entire time that you're gonna fight it. If it takes you longer than 2 seconds to kill a boss, you're in the wrong biome or world, by the way. Or looks like you're leeching or something and you 9 for the first time once you hit 10k for the first time. But yeah, unyielding is just cheaper. It's a cheaper solution. It doesn't stick, death-defying is the worst flask in the entire game. Unyielding is an emblem that you can use with any flask, which is included with Conjurer's Vial, which is the best flask in the entire game for farming. So you can use this with Conjurer's Vial. You never have to visit a cornerstone again. You never take damage. You're much safer. It's literally just death-defying is like, it's like obsolete. It has no existence in the farming world, So definitely, I want to make sure I get that out of the way. I'm sorry if it took a little longer. It took like 3 minutes to explain that, but I want to make sure that it gets the point across. This is it's a bad vial. Unless you're going for Shadow Towers, Ultra Shadow Towers. Maybe you're like a speedrunner or something, then you might want to use it, but then you'd be using medium multiplication if you're a speedrunner. So again, it's just like, I don't know, just don't get it. It's a huge waste of cubits, and I'm sorry if you've already wasted your cubits on it, because that's like, what, 2 months worth of cubits right there? Actually, no, that's longer than that, right? I don't know. But so now that we got that out of the way, remember, I made sure to mention that this is something you don't want to buy. Now we're going to get into the best things to buy to the worst things to buy. So the first thing you want to buy in this game, I already bought it off camera, but you can see right there it's owned, is either Martial or Arcane. If you're playing a physical damage class, you want to get Martial. If you're playing a magic damage class, you want to get Arcane. This is the literal first thing you want to spend your cubits on, because it gives you 250% more damage based on your damage type. And the reason why you want to get this over, say, the gem booster boxes is because you don't need any boosters until you're already around 10k PR, maybe like 8k PR, and you're trying to get to 10k for the first time, or you don't want your gems to crack. That's when you want to start getting gem booster boxes. But at 1.5k PR, you are not using boosters. So the first thing you want to buy, again, is to make sure you're farming faster. Efficiency is key when it comes to cubits, because cubits are it's a time constraint commodity. So these are your first 2 options that you want to be getting, depending on your magic type or your damage type. After that, you want to fill out the rest of your emblems that you're going to be using for pretty much the rest of the game. So if you're playing a magic damage class, you want to pick up Arcane, then maybe Chronomantic, Unyielding, definitely, if you're going to farm U9, and then Trailblazing. That's pretty much all you need when it comes to magic damage classes. That will cover every single magic damage class in the entire game. No other class uses any other emblem when it comes to cubits. Not every magic damage class uses Trailblazing either, but you're just getting it just in case. When it comes to physical damage classes, you pick up Martial first, and then you're going to want to get Unyielding, and then Trailblazing, and then Zealous if you're going to go Neon Ninja later down the line. That's all you need from this tab. You get all those emblems, and then you're done. You don't need to pick up any of these flasks, because there's better flasks that are worth Flux that you could just buy with Flux. And Conjurers, like I was mentioning earlier. Conjurers is the best flask in the entire game, and that's Flux, not Cubits. You can pick up Bandolier if you're playing, maybe Gunslinger. You can pick up Death-Defying later down the line if you're doing Ultras for the most part. But these are kind of an afterthought. These aren't something you want to be getting right away. Next thing you want to get, after you pick up all your emblems that you're going to use depending on your damage type, which I just explained, you're going to want to get the Dragon Coin Tome. If you have a lot of Dragon Coins already, by the time you get to this point, you could pick up a Dragon Egg first. Depending on what type of damage you're doing, you want to pick up ones over the other. So make sure to check out my Dragon Party Guide to make sure which dragons you want to pick up first, depending on your damage type. I don't remember exactly, but I think maybe like Dusk is the best, or maybe, I don't know. Just check that guide, and you'll see which dragons to pick up first out of these 3. Make sure you're picking up the correct ones first, obviously, if you're going for efficiency. Because if you pick up the worst one over the best one, what's the point? They all cost the same, right? But if you're not there yet, you want to pick up the Dragon Coin Tome first, because the Dragon Coin Tome is going to allow you to craft these eggs. So definitely I recommend Dragon Coin Tome first, then go and pick up these eggs. After you get all 3 eggs plus the Dragon Coin Tome, you're going to want to come over, and then you're pretty much just going to spend your cubits forever and ever on gem booster boxes. The reason why you want to do that is because everything else is kind of useless. Like I said, you might have a use for Elysian Bandolier, and you might have a use for Death-Defying later down the line. But besides those 2, you're not going to use anything else. Anything. These are all useless stuff. The only reason you want to pick these up is for mastery. So these are all gonna wait until you're on the Mastery 300 grind, which is, again, like I explained last video, one of the last things you want to do in the game, because it gives you the least like PR per damage until you're already like 18k PR. That's when it starts to shine. So these are all stuff that you want to pick up very, very, very late in the game. So you want to pick up your gem booster boxes, just stick to gem booster boxes until you're going to go for Mastery. Then you come back, you go to the vault, you pick up all the mounts, the wings and stuff for Cubits. You go to Flask, you pick up all the Flask and the emblems for Cubits. This is all just Mastery, 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 nothing else. So that's it. It's really, really simple. There's not much available for Cubits anymore because a lot of things used to be available for Cubits and they kind of nerfed it. You know, you used to actually be able to buy every single class in the entire game for Cubits. But if you're an old school viewer, you know that was a very big deal back in the day when they made them and not available for Cubits anymore. But if you're newer, that's a fun fact. These, you used to just get them all for Cubits. It was very simple. They were actually pretty cheap for Cubits too. It was only like a month worth of Cubits, and you could get every single class in the entire game. But yeah, apparently that was too easy, and they wanted to make some money out of that. But just to recap really quick, the first thing you want to do with your Cubits is buy either Martial or Arcane, depending on what type of damage you're doing. After that, you want to fill out the rest of your emblems that you're going to be using depending on the damage type you're doing once again. So every other, I recommend actually Martial, Arcane, and then Unyielding second, like no matter what. Just get Unyielding second after Arcane or Martial. After that, you can get Trailblazing third, I guess, no matter what. And then depending on physical damage, you'll get Zealous. If you're magic damage, you'll get Chronomantic. There. Bam. That's your first 4 purchases, depending on your damage type. 5th purchase, Dragon Coin Tome. 6th purchase, I guess 8th purchase, you're going to want to get the 3 dragon eggs depending on your damage type. Once again, look at that guide. Figure out which one you want first. After that, 9th purchase and forever is gem booster boxes. Once you're on the Mastery 300 grind, you're going to want to pick up everything else. So first off, go through all the Flasks. Get everything from like cheapest to most expensive. So, you know, get all the 7.5k ones, get all the 10k ones. Go over here, get the 7.5k mounts. For Cubits, get the 10k mount for Cubits, and then, you know, there's the 1600 Cubit mounts, 16,000. Where are they? Where was those mounts? Okay, so there's 16k Cubit mounts, and then you can get the 20k Flask, which that's fine, and then come back here and then get the 25k wings. You know, just go in order of cheapest to most expensive, so you get, you know, it takes the least amount of time to the longest amount of time. That's it. Cubits are very, very simple, but you got to make sure you know what you're doing with them, right? I bet a lot of you guys have this vial right here. I bet like 90% of you guys have this vial. Don't worry, it's not like it's a huge waste of Cubits at the start, but eventually you'll have it anyways, so I guess you could think of it that way. But if you haven't got this yet, hold off on it. Like I said, just buy Conjurers. You can farm Radiant Shards, you can farm Sunlight Bulbs for like an hour, and then you can get a Conjurer's Vial. They're only like 40k Flux or something. We can actually check really quick. So go Marketplace, and then go, whoops, we're not searching for Safe Sale anymore. And then we go Con, I think you can just go like Conj. Let's just do Conj. 20k Flux. They're literally 20k Flux. You can make that in what, like 5 minutes of Sunlight Bulb farming? So yeah, definitely this is the best Flask in the entire game, by the way. So yeah, it's either 20k Flux, which is 5 minutes of farming, or 20,000 Cubits, which is like 2 months worth of Cubits. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely not worth. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button plus the bell next to it so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. If you would like to further support the channel, make sure to check out my Humble Bundle affiliate links in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.